Allie.
I'm Bree.
And I'm Kelly.
Welcome to the Circle, babes.
Where we share everything. Well, let's get started. How about we do like a temperature check first before we jump into today's topic?
Okay.
It's been a week. It's been a month.
It's been a long month.
It's been a long month. Maybe by the time that you're watching this, it's probably even been longer than a month. But I think it might be good for us to just like talk a little bit about a life update, where we are, how things are going, if there's been any updates, Molly, in life. Do you want to start us off with how things have been going for you lately?
So I'm still in a relationship. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yes.
There's no guessing there. Still going strong. However, my car has decided it doesn't want to work anymore. She was going to cost me about $3,200 to fix when she's worth about $1,100. So hopefully in the coming weeks you will see me posting with a new to me car. It will be used. We are not buying brand new, but a new to me car that's going to get me from point A to B without having to spend $3,200.
Per.
You want to go? You want to talk about how life has been?
I don't feel like I have anything new developments.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Haven't you been on a date recently?
Gosh, let's skip that part and pretend we haven't been on a date.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. We can talk
It
about
never happened.
Picture it didn't happen.
Never happened. Sure. Work-wise, I've been busy, swamped. I feel like I don't have free time. I, too, went on a date not too long ago. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Not that. It was fine. I just know that there's a lot of things and situations that need to change before like something were to be able to happen with that. Other than that, there's not really been a whole lot of happenings in life, like literally going through the motions. Like January was a long month.
Draining.
Yes.
Especially for that bank account.
Yeah. But, okay, so because of now that we're finally in February, do you guys have anything marked off of your bingo card so far?
I made it all of January without taking a drink, so dry January is marked off the bingo card.
For all of us.
I did not put that on my bingo card.
Oh.
Shockingly enough.
For us it is, so we've got that off of our list.
Yeah.
Check.
Don't know that I have anything. I'll have to look back at my bingo card because now I don't remember everything that was on there. But I don't think I have anything specifically like marked off.
Yes, you do.
Besides starting the podcast.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
You have at least one.
We all have that one marked off. Yes. Follow up with me in a couple weeks and then I should have another one that I can mark off after I get back from travel. So like we'll have that at least.
Yeah. I only have those two, just starting a podcast and then dry January checked off so far.
I mean, I would say like since we're only a month into the year, that's pretty good start. For all of you that have been listening, we appreciate you. You know, we're getting our feet wet. We're diving in. We know we have a lot of friends that are giving great feedback and comments, and we just appreciate you guys. Hopefully our following will continue to grow. Maybe you're subscribing, hoping you're subscribing or liking or sharing, following our Instagram page. We try to have some content on there at least once a week. And then of course we post every Sunday at 7. So it's good to have you with us, and hopefully you're learning a little bit more about us as we are kind of going through it. But we'll go ahead and jump into the content for today. We always like to start off with a cute little intro question. So today's intro question that I wanted to kind of talk with you guys about. Have you ever been in a situation where you did not want someone, but then all of a sudden that someone that you didn't want gets into a relationship? Do you want that person now? Like, does that make you want that person now that they're in a relationship?
No. For me, it's no, like I either want you or I don't. Like I try to make decisive decisions when it comes to that because I don't know. I just don't like the gray area. Like I either like you or I don't like you. So it's a no for me. It doesn't make them more attractive. It's just like good for you. Yeah.
I can't say I'm in the same boat. Now at this point in my life, null and void. I am in a relationship, but prior to, there were a few instances years ago that I didn't want to give someone the time of day when they were pursuing me, but then mostly it was a college thing, so I was still very immature. And I will go ahead and admit that I was immature when it happened, because then as soon as they got into a public relationship, I texted them and was like, I would have given you everything. Like, we would have had a great relationship, but here you are going and doing this and that. I was very toxic, and I'm not going to lie about it. I will admit my wrongdoings. I do not do that anymore. Nowadays, I'm more on Bree's side that I want the security. I want to know. I don't want that gray area. I don't want it to be a game.
Right.
But I will say it has happened to me, and I have been very toxic.
I'm proud of you for admitting that.
Honesty is the best policy. But yes, we do not do that anymore. We have matured. We are in therapy. We recognize other people have feelings and try not to do that.
So I feel like I wouldn't, like y'all, I don't think I would do it now. Like, I'm older. I don't want the weird back and forth. But I was definitely in a situation in college where they were pursuing me. I was kind of like into it at the time because I didn't have any other attention, and sometimes you just want the attention.
Yep.
And things were cool, but like I knew that like I just wasn't attracted in that way. I like went over to their apartment, or like his apartment, and let's just say I was not impressed with their apartment.
Why?
How was the apartment set up, Kelly?
The apartment, like the living room was fine because like roommates, right? And so that was cool. But then I went to like use the restroom, and when I opened up his bedroom, there was not a bed. It was a thin air mattress, and I just wasn't expecting that. Like, I guess I set a higher standard for myself other than an air mattress. That might sound super like shady of me, but I just have a higher expectation. But then also found out that he was doing some shady things, some illegal things that I also did not want any part in. And so I was like, oh, okay, not for me. But then I think it was like not even 2 weeks later when I had like distanced myself, he got into a, like, I don't even know if they were like a true relationship, but like was dating someone like that I knew and that we both were hanging out with in the same circle. Thought that was a little weird. He didn't know what was happening between us, so I did not follow her in that. But when I like brought it up to him, I was like, my guy, like, what's happening? Like, and so he ended up like dropping that situation to try, because he thought like when I was saying that meant I wanted him. And so maybe that doesn't even say like I want you because you're with someone, but I thought it was just weird that you went for someone that I knew. Like, we were in the same circle. Like, could you have not
at least gone outside the friend group?
Yeah, like, could you not have, like, went somewhere else, like, talk to someone else? Because, like, we hang out, like, that group hung out, like, every weekend. So, like, I was seeing them all the time, and I was like...
And it's like it's not that he didn't know that y'all were friends or in the same friend, like, he knew...
We were always together! Yeah. Like, we were always hanging out, so it just felt weird. Like, that whatever they had did not last long, and, like, there was that, him coming back, and I was like... Nah, like, I'm good on that. Like, it is what it is. I don't know. It was just strange. I leave that in the past. I leave him in the past. I leave that whole situation in the past. I, since then, if I can remember, I do try to tend to say that I have a good memory, but, like, I don't think there has been any other, like, wanted you because you're in a, like, relationship. If I didn't already have feelings for them prior to. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, was that in college?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like sophomore year of college. So that was very, very long time ago. That would have been like 2012, 2013, so like over 10 years ago.
Let's talk about if that only applies to someone you've been talking to versus someone you never even thought about. And then you saw them with someone and you're like, oh, he would make a good boyfriend.
He could get it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not in the business of trying to take no one's man. If that's their man, that's their man. I don't think being in a relationship, like, that's not like a pheromone to me. Like, that doesn't automatically make that man more attractive to me if I didn't already have feelings. And, like, if we had been talking beforehand and then he got in that might be different. Just someone that I just know in passing that never really had a conversation with, no.
Oh. Okay.
Does that change your thoughts?
I mean, I feel like I've had that thought, but I've never, like...
Pursued it.
Yeah. Because I'm not a homewrecker either.
No.
That's weird. But I was like, oh, he looks cute with her. Like, okay.
I feel like I have been called that before.
A homewrecker?
Oh, I've definitely been called a homewrecker before.
Oh, really?
I have been called that before.
And my clapback was there was no home to wreck, and that started some tea.
Tea for real. That brings up a great question.
Okay.
So we can get into it.
Let's get into it.
So I've definitely been called a homewrecker, right? Like and here's why I was considered a homewrecker. So this is going to be bad. When I went to church camp.
Not church camp.
You wreck at home at church.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Okay, so Camp Fort Caswell.
I got some memories.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. Fort Caswell.
Got some memories.
It's a great place.
Caswell.
It's a beautiful place.
Love
the beach.
That place.
Went there every year, sometimes twice a year when I was in middle school and high school. I was there with my church, and they had a lot of times when it was like a big camp. They invited churches from all over the state or even out of state, and they would split you up into like churches, other groups of people in different churches. And so I met someone there that was super sweet. Like, we really hit it off, and it was fine. We exchanged numbers. It was normal. Friends liked him. We all hung out. We even got a picture together. Okay. Like, didn't know this man, got a picture with him the first day. It was cool. We left camp, and like, that was when Facebook had like just started up, right? Mm-hmm. And we connected on Facebook, and I realized he had a whole girlfriend. He did not tell me he had a girlfriend. It was on the page, right? And so I was like, oh no, like, I'm not about that life. We chatted from time to time, but like, I made it very clear, like, you're in a relationship. I'm not doing that. Yep. I was like a ninth grade high school, maybe sophomore in high school. Like, I was young. Like, no, I'm not doing this. So we like stopped talking. 6 months later, he pops up into my DMs on Facebook. He's like, hey, I want you to know, like, I broke up with my girlfriend for you. Like, I want this to work. Mind you, we live like 2 hours from one another. We're in high school.
You
like,
ain't got driver's license yet.
I can't go to you. Yeah. Like, what are we doing right now? And I was like, wait, why? Like, why did you do that? We've not even been talking anymore. What? He was like, I just feel like I was led to like break up with her. Like, she found out about you. And I was like, what is happening right now? Like, I was like, I don't want anything to do with this, whatever. Okay, another 6 months goes by. Like, we stopped talking. He's like, I want to come see you. I'm going to drive up. Like, I'm going to come see you. And I was like, what is happening? He does. He comes up to Ashboro, meets my mom and dad, like, comes and like picks me up in his truck, like, opens the door. We go to eat at this restaurant in my hometown, like, all the things. He literally spent all day with me, and I was like, y'all know me. Sometimes I just need, like, you to go home at some point. Like, I don't need to be with you all day. He was there. We went to lunch. I think we went to the movies. We came back to my parents' house, and we literally just sat on the couch with my parents, and I was like, please go home. This man finally left at like 9 o'clock at night. And I remember messaging him the next day and being like, I don't want this. But like, as all of this is happening, like, my friends, I'm obviously telling my girlfriends about this at school, and they're like, you're a homewrecker for real. Like, I was like, I've done literally nothing. I met this man one time, and now he like wants to see me. He wants to like date. He wants things to be official. I will say all 4 years, he would come back around like every year of high school.
If anything, like, he wrecked his own home with that.
Yes.
One. If you weren't pursuing, saying, leave her for me or anything, you're not a home wrecker. He wrecked his own home.
Yes. I was so frustrated. It was like, I have not said anything to this man. You do not even live here. High school relationships were very much like across the street from one another, down the street, 15, 20 minutes. You weren't dating. Like, I wasn't even the kind of person that was going to date someone outside of my high school. Like, if I'm not seeing you every day, when you're in high school, that's the thing. You see each other every day. Like, that's how it works. If you're at the county school and I'm at the city school, like, no, like, I'm good. Like, I had friends that did that, but that was not for me. So, yeah, I might have been called one, but I do not claim it. I did not do anything wrong in that situation.
Yeah, mine happened when I first got to the area we're in now, because as soon as I moved here years ago, I very quickly got into a relationship with a man that I had known from college. We had worked together at the job I had while in college up in the mountains. He was married then. Nothing ever happened while I was in college and we were working together. Nothing ever happened. I got here. He messaged me on Bumble. He said, hey, what are you doing in the area? I said, hey, what are you doing on Bumble? And he was like, well, me and her are actually divorcing. I said, okay, what does that mean? He was like, I've always had feelings for you. I want to see where it goes. What is that face for?
Just the things that men say just piss me. Like, just be honest. Like, that's just gross.
Yeah.
You're married and you Sorry.
Anyway, so we do start dating. Things get somewhat serious pretty quickly. We go on our first date. After the first date, I meet his dad and most of his family.
So wild.
And then his friend, something gets posted. I never posted about him because I'm not starting any drama. I'm not going to be...
The things are not official.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you post me, I'll post you. But until I have that green light to go ahead, I ain't doing it. One of his friends had posted a group picture or something from something we were doing.
And you were in the picture.
And I was in the picture. His arm was around me. Obviously, we were together for all intents and purposes. My head on his shoulder. We were out Topgolf, Drive Shack, something. And I get the DM from the ex. Also, you swooped in and you're the reason my home was wrecked. I said, ma'am, as far as I was concerned, he reached out to me. He pursued me. I was going along with it. As far as I knew, y'all were done. And that's all I have to go off of. If I knew y'all were still together,
we wouldn't have had this problem.
I ain't touching you, man. Like I've told Kelly, I've told Bree.
Yeah.
Y'all's man is not gonna be the love of my life. I ain't taking no one's man. I don't want to.
I don't understand how other women, the woman that's in the relationship, how they physically can get mad at the other woman.
I think
if we don't know.
I think it's lack of brain cells.
Oh. Okay.
Because I don't know. I think a logical person would think, okay, let me ask instead of assuming. And then let me get her side of the story. Let me get his side of the story, and then see what.
Ask me what he's been telling me.
Correct.
And don't just assume, because when you assume, you're going to make an ass out of you and me.
Yes, I honestly know that they're probably talking out of hurt.
Yeah,
and so that's why I don't even want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's like, girl.
Or stupidity.
Stupidity, sure. But it's one of those things where it's like, I want to give you grace because I know that you're probably upset. I get that. However, I'm not the one you're supposed to be yelling at.
Don't check me.
Because what that man was telling me, y'all are done. Divorce papers are signed. They're just waiting on the last mediation or whatever. I don't know any of this. That's not my business. You handle your business, because also I didn't post that photo. I wasn't out here gloating, I got your man, because at that point he was my man. From all I knew, he was my man, because that's what he told me.
Yes.
I'm never gonna wreck a home on purpose.
Correct. I think a lot more good conversation could come if people are not willing to jump to conclusions. Because I get it. If I were to put myself in her situation, she's probably thinking everything is fine and dandy, and then he's distancing himself, and now you just see a picture. Yeah, I understand that you might be upset, but cool, don't yell at me. Yell at your husband.
It was your ex-husband too, because I saw the papers notarized that you signed.
Oh, so they really were done.
They were done. There was no ambiguity. She was butthurt.
Yeah,
she was butthurt that he moved on. I guess it made it worse because we knew each other prior to. I don't know if she thought something had happened before.
She's just mad.
But it didn't, because if there's a ring on that man's finger, I ain't going after him.
Not with a 10-foot pole.
That's why. Okay, so that's why it's like, she was just butthurt. She was just. She was trying to find someone that she could attack, and
maybe
it was you.
It was also because she felt like it was so quickly.
It was very quick because we got together in August. The divorce was finalized in March, April.
Okay.
There was still some time, but I can see that's kind of quick.
She might have assumed that y'all were talking before the divorce was over, all the things.
And we weren't. Yeah. I promised we weren't.
It didn't matter in her mind. It was within the year, and it just wasn't enough time. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Messy for real. Do you have any homewrecker situations?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I don't know that we planned this, but it kind of worked out super duper well with the topic of today's is really just, we wanted to call this kind of the Messy Chronicles, right? This was an episode where we can talk about messy situations that maybe we put ourselves in, or maybe ones we created, or maybe we were put in. It wasn't our choice, it wasn't our fault, but we might have had to deal with some messy situations. Does anybody want to start? I think Bree, you haven't had much to share so far. Do you want to talk about a messy situation that you might have created?
Oh gosh, that I might have created. I feel like Should I talk about the burn book?
I think so.
Yeah, obviously.
I think you need to talk about the burn book.
You can't not talk about the burn book.
But like maybe preface your age.
Yes. Yeah, it was not a recent burn
Yes.
book.
No.
Okay, so taking it way back to, I think, middle school, honestly. And girls are mean. I'm probably still mean. It's fine. But the big movie during that time was Mean Girls. And, of course, everybody knows they had the burn book, okay? And
if you don't know what that is.
Google
What a burn book is.
What a burn book is.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, me and my two best friends, I won't say their names, but at the time, we were obsessed with the movie and we were like, okay, let's make a burn book. And of course we had like our middle grade like yearbook, so we literally cut people's faces out of them and made a whole burn book. Luckily I kept that. I don't know where I kept it.
Do you still have it?
No.
Oh, dang. Okay.
But I had kept it home. But when I got to school, and this is how I know one of them bitches was fake.
You heard it for your first, ladies and gentlemen.
It went around the 6th grade, and so people were like, "Oh, do you have a burn book?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about?" Definitely gaslighting people. And I actually got called to the principal's office. And with the other girls, and we were like, no, I don't have a book. And then they literally checked my book bag, and I was like, yeah, go ahead and check it, because I knew, I was smart enough to know not to bring that book to school. Like, who does that? And so it just went away. But like, that's when I knew, like, them girls
was not your friend.
Was not your friend. But that was some messiness. Like, I had no business talking about nobody. I should just minded my business, honestly. I was just there. But yeah, that's just one example, one situation where I was a little messy.
We love it. It's okay. We all go through it. I think mine's gonna probably involve Twitter. You see, guys, back in the day of Twitter before it became X, there was a thing called subtweets. And when you subtweeted someone, you were basically trying to subliminally talk about someone without saying their name. And I was put in a situation I did not make. This situation wasn't, but what the whole situation, I probably started it. But all of a sudden, I saw someone that I was in class with. He wrote something very, very directed at me. It said, I don't understand why she thinks she can play two good friends. They talk to each other all the time. She needs to stop playing with me. I said, oh.
What did you say?
Okay, cool, bet. Probably didn't say bet at the time because that was not a thing. But I remembered subtweeting back, and I was like, I don't know what he's talking about, like making sure that no one understood who I was referring to. But I said something along the lines of like, you were never the priority. The other guy was always the priority, and you knew that. And to like send that out, right? And so it kind of like snowballed. The other guy was coming back and forth, subtweeting. A good friend of mine, I guess, is also a good friend of his too, because he also put in like Twitter. It was like, I wish I knew who this person was talking about. I would love to know the tea. And I was like, well, little does he know it was me that he was talking about. But in all reality, it was like they knew each other really well. They played basketball together all the time. But like, I never wanted him. Like, I never wanted the other one. The priority was always the other main guy. Like, he was always there. He knew he was always there because he got the subtweets. Like, he directly texted me and was like, hey, like, is this guy talking about you on like Twitter? And I was like, yes. Like, he absolutely is talking about me. And he was laughing at the situation. Like, he knew what it was. I knew what it was. That man just got his feelings hurt. He got obsessed with me because why not? And and he just didn't get what he wanted. So yeah, I don't do subtweets no more. They just get people in trouble. Let's just go directly to the source.
They still get you in trouble.
They do. That's what's like. Just go to the source. Go directly to the person. Stop being messy. That's all.
Molly?
So my messiness, I'm going to preface this. I'm going to have to cuss. It's going to be a little vulgar to get the full effect across of what I said during this messy moment. So preface, I do apologize, but it's going to happen. So my messy moment came in the form of a quote-unquote fight senior year of high school. Only time I ever really got in trouble in high school, but she had it coming. It was with a girl who was a grade younger than me who had transferred into our school, but then transferred to basically every other school in our county. And because no one liked her at any school, like the whole county was against her, like, oh, poor me.
She was a victim.
But she thought everyone loved her. She thought her shit didn't stink. Ugh. Like, she thought she was all that and the bag of chips. Like, And girl, you're not.
Nah, get over yourself.
Senior year, I took just a throwaway elective, like Microsoft PowerPoint class. Because I needed the elective for graduation. And to preface, I had lost about 100 pounds from freshman to senior year. And I won the superlative of most change since freshman year.
Love that.
And the day that it was announced and everything, like, this girl was in class. No one liked her. She was just talking out her ass and just kept pushing buttons. And I just turned around and said, no one wants to hear your fucking mouth. And she turned at me, snapped her little brown hair at me and goes, well, at least I don't have an eating disorder. At this point, I was undiagnosed ADHD, very much did not have a filter, very much was at the end of my rope with this girl.
Mode. It was on attack mode.
So I turned to her, stood up, and said, at least I don't have fucking horse teeth.
She ate with that.
I can just visualize this.
And I almost said professor, but the teacher at the time was a long-term sub, so she didn't like me anyway. We had our own problems with the sub. And you know what? Probably valid, because I would delete her stuff all the time. Not sorry. Got sent to the office. I knew the principal very well. Very well. Principal comes in, she's like, Molly, what are you doing here? And I told her the whole situation, and she goes, was it that E-girl again? She's causing all kinds of problems. So it wasn't just me. I was just the one who stood up and said something. But plot twist, because I stood up and said something to this girl, she took it as I was communicating a threat and she was in danger. I get sent to juvenile justice in the county where I'm from. Plot twist, I have a family member who works in said area. They think it's all funny. Funny, why are you here? And I gave them the slip and everything, and they're like, we're not doing that because you didn't say you're gonna hit her. You didn't actually communicate a threat just because she perceived it that way. I said, well, they said I can't go back to school the rest of the day. So the family member was like, well, sign off on your slip. You came in, you did what you were supposed to do. Everything's chill, not going on your record or anything. I said, cool, can I go home, just chill for the rest of the day? They're like, bring me food first, but then you can go do whatever you want.
We love it.
And the girl transferred out of our school, graduated from a different one, ended up at the same college as me, still tried her petty shit at that college, transferred to another college, and now she's, I guess, engaged and living her best life. She was going to be a doctor, now she's a teacher, you know.
Dang. What's she saying about teachers?
Nothing wrong with teachers, but she thought she was so hot and so smart, and like she couldn't pass the MCAT to qualify for med school.
Yep. Karma.
Right.
I'm just, so what sounds to me like if we had superlatives right now and there was a superlative that's like most likely to end up in jail, if we're looking at past experiences, maybe Smalley?
Probably.
Maybe? I don't know.
I wish I could say that's the first time I've heard that, but it's not.
I would bail you out.
I appreciate that.
We'd come get you.
Yeah.
I don't know what your superlative would be like. Most likely to marry rich, maybe.
You know me so well.
I think so. I could likely see you going to jail too though, but for good cause. I feel like I might would end up bailing both of y'all out because one, you let your mouth run for you sometimes.
You can snip sometimes.
So I'm might have to be ready for some bail money. Might be calling your mama and be like, Mom, hi, I need your help. We need to go get your daughter out of jail. But it would be for a good cause.
Yeah.
You would be standing up for someone. You too. You would be standing up for someone.
I'm not going to go to jail over nothing. I'm going to make it memorable.
We can V-blog it.
I feel that.
I would be like, all right, guys, maybe there's going to be a V-blog one day. I don't know. You might have to come with me to bail them out. Oh my gosh. Yo, that's crazy. Okay. As you can tell, these are just some of the small, messy moments of our life. Are there any other messy moments?
I also told a boy who was annoying me in class one day, I wish if I had a nickel for every time I called someone that they had fucking horse teeth, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's odd I've had to say it twice.
Yeah, 2 cents.
But he was just, we were in class, we were put together on a group project. He just kept saying stuff like, redheads don't have souls, you have a freckle for every soul you steal, can you even go out in the sun, and this and that. I said, hey Z, at least I don't have fucking horse teeth.
You and these horse teeth?
Yeah, no, right?
But he did. He was all gums. His teeth were that big.
Listen.
No, I think he was just in love with you. That when you tease someone like that, you want their attention.
Well, he picked the wrong one.
Crying.
Just tell me you love me. Don't act that way because it's not going to be good for anyone because I'm going to fight you.
Crying.
That's not, no.
It's not a compliment.
It's not a compliment. Just if a boy picks on you, that means they like you. No, fuck that. Stay away.
I have a comment on that one. Do you have anything? Any other messy moments?
I don't know. I think one time I told this boy to shut his dick sucking lips up. And this was when I was super...
I have to remember that one.
To preface, he was a class clown, right? Always joking on people, always like trying to get the attention. He had a rash around his mouth. I don't know what it was to this day, but it was like white nasty. And it was visible to everyone, but no one said anything. And then one day he was just like going off in class, and I was trying to learn like we're supposed to. So I'm like, shh, shut up. He was like, I know you're not talking. And then all of a sudden
You saw black.
I saw black. And I said, shut your dick-sucking lips up. And the whole class, y'all, erupted laughing. And even the teacher, she was a cute little old lady. She had, like, look below her glasses. But she was, like, looking at me like, I can't believe she just said that.
Can we tell everyone what grade we were in when you said this?
Again, 6th grade.
To say I would not have wanted to cross Bree in middle school is an understatement. Like, she would have cut me down to my core. That's crazy.
You had to be mean, because, like, bullying was, like, on the rage for some reason. Mm-hmm. And then, like, when you got to high school, it just didn't get cool. Like, it's like, mind your fucking business. Like, nobody gives a fuck what you think. But yeah, middle school was rough. So you, like, had to be mean. Almost.
I don't know how this popped up into my head, because these girls even know this story. There was another, it kind of actually was kind of like a homewrecker situation. Again, messy. So this was freshman year of college, and there was a guy that I met at orientation. Very much my type. Very attractive. And we started talking. We were hanging out. And then I get a DM on my Instagram. You want to bet who it was?
The girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. It was a girlfriend. She messaged me and was like, hey, do you know who this is? And I was like, yeah, like, I know who that is. And she was like, how well do you know him? And then he starts calling me. And I was like, oh yeah. Like, he definitely knows about this situation, whatever. I did not know about her. Did not know he was in a relationship. She was at another university and he was there. She's not on his Instagram, so like, how am I supposed to know? I wouldn't answer his call. He then texts me. He's like, please don't say anything. Like, don't be messy. Like, don't ruin this. Y'all know
be messy.
Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Cool. You wanted to lie to me, or like at least just not tell me the truth?
Okay.
But all bets are off. I immediately message this girl back and tell her everything. Ooh. Like, she knows it all. And she messaging me back. She's like, thank you for letting me know. Like, I appreciate it. She didn't come at me. She wasn't yelling at me.
That's how it should be.
I very much appreciated the truth. Like, and we left it at that, right? Okay. So that same day, right after that conversation, I am on my way to a general board meeting for the organization that I'm in. Guess who decides he wants to be in the board meeting that day? So I'm an active member there. My friends are active members. They all know what's going on. Like, they were a part of the conversation that I was sending, like checking with him. Is this cool? Like, should I say this? Whatever. So they all knew. We're all sitting down and we see him come in and we're like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? You don't come to these meetings. You're not a part of this organization. And he sits down and I feel his eyes burning into me the entire time. Like, because I never texted him back. I never called him back beforehand. Like, and then when I left the meeting, he like follows me because his dorm and my dorm are right beside one another. And so I'm like, are you going to come try to talk to me? Like, are you going to say anything? Like, no, he just kept following me. And I was like, okay. Like, it wasn't until maybe like a week later, he finally caught me like out walking towards class. And he was just like, I don't understand why you had to do that. Like, why was that necessary? And I was like,
are you stupid?
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, you ruined the relationship, not me. Like, I had no idea you were in a relationship. How would I have known if you hadn't said anything? I wouldn't have touched, said hello. Like,
you wouldn't have taken it that far if you knew, because you're not a homewrecker.
Correct. Like, you came on to me.
We wouldn't have been talking.
Correct. So that's why I just...
These men are disgusting.
He did transfer. So he transferred out after that semester or maybe the full year. I don't remember. But he did end up transferring to be with her. And guess what, y'all? They not together no more. I think they broke up like 2 or 3 years later. So like they stayed together after that. Like maybe it helped because they were back in like close distance from one another. But he's something else now. He don't look like he used to in undergrad.
Don't you just love when karma happens?
Yes.
I dodged a bullet.
I bet he's bald now.
Dodged a bullet
and not in the good way.
Is he bald?
Nah. Last I checked, I think he had dreads.
Did he get fatter?
Nah, he's a personal trainer.
His face.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good on this
I think we've shared enough this episode.
And don't get me wrong, there's going to be more to come. I think it was a fun time to just share some of the messy things, pure messiness that we either caused or were put into by other people. Clearly, we're not always the messy ones. The mess sometimes finds us. I got another one that I can share. We won't share it today because this one's a longer story. But we will get into that. Maybe we'll talk about the holidays and how the holidays can sometimes get a little messy. On another episode. Stay tuned. We definitely hope that you learned some things, some stories.
Don't hold this against us because remember, we listen.
And we don't judge. And then some of this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, true. Like, I don't think we shared any stories that were within the last 5 to 7 years, maybe longer. Oh, but the married one. So that one was recent.
It was still years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, nothing recent.
Again, but you were put into that.
I was put into that.
You were into that. We did not make that.
Yes.
So there is a difference there.
Well, thank you for joining us again for another episode of Messy Brings Chaos. Find us on our socials, Instagram, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
yes,
at Messy Brings Chaos or Messy Brings Chaos Pod. So feel free to like, subscribe, and we hope you join us again next week. So keep it messy, babes.
See you next time.
Bye.